Let me tell you something about the Eurovision Song Contest. I've never seen it. Okay, before you click away, this year I'm actually planning on seeing it for the first time because I realized singing is so much nicer than war. Let me explain that for you. Throughout history, whenever there were the Olympics, countries put aside their differences and even war stuff to compete. Now, I happen to care nothing at all about seeing other people do a sport, but I do like singing, and I do like seeing other people sing, or hearing, actually. On top of that, I have like no sense of nationalistic feeling in me, but I am interested to see who is gonna represent my country. My country, as if I like own it or build it or whatever. So apparently the Netherlands is going to be represented by someone called Waylon. Never heard of. Sorry. But if you're interested, I have an interesting story about the contestant for the Netherlands 2 years ago. His name is Douwe Bob, and I actually had to work with him for my internship last year. He is a really interesting guy, okay? Like, I'm one of those people that comes in and you clearly know that I just came into the room. I walk in, I'm loud, I'm present, I move around a lot. But that guy was like the epitome of doing that. We were standing somewhere outside doing the whole video shoot. It was for a commercial. And as we're not shooting, he's just walking around being loud, carrying around his dog, which he apparently always has with him. At some point, he just knocks on a random person's door and he's like, "Hey, I was at the Eurovision Song Contest a while back." The dude who lived there realized that and just invited him in, and he was just like having coffee with the dude during the break of the shoot, and he like totally randomly. So at some point, the police comes over to the set and they're all like, "Do you have like a license to be filming here? Like, the government has to give you permission to film in such a public space." We had that because the job was actually given to us by Amsterdam city government, so that wasn't really a problem. Now, a while later, the police comes back and we're like, what's it this time? And they're like, they slowly like pull over and stop, roll down the window and go, "Hey, Douwe Bob, can we have an autograph?" And he's just like, "Oh yeah, sure, dude." And he took selfies with the police and everything, and I was just there like, huh. Like, we didn't talk so much, but he seemed like a very pleasant fella, and he had a lot of energy. So that's always a thing I like in people. Now, I do care about picking the right person to represent the country because I work in the media industry. The Netherlands is always seen as a country that has like no entertainers or no like good people in media. So to pick the right person to represent us in that branch, to me that's like, you know, that's important. And for years, the Netherlands was known to be picking like people where it's like, are we sure we want to have that person represent us? Like, that's always something the Dutch people said, until at some point they started picking really good people, and Anouk and everyone. Not sure if you know her, but she's a good singer. So we were all like, oh wow, she's a really good singer. But then me and my mom, when we heard her song, we personally really didn't like it. It was like, birds falling down the roof. We felt it was like so sad, low on energy, and while she has such a powerful voice, and it was all like, why? Like, is it rigged? Is this conspiracy to make the Dutch people lose every year? But then again, we afterwards, we had some pretty good representatives, and, you know. But what no one knows is that I represented the Netherlands at some point. Here, let me show you just like this super totally real clip, and you can see for yourself. Despacito. It was a really interesting part of my life that absolutely happened. Now let's get back to that war thing I was talking about. What? When it comes to competition, war is probably the worst kind of competition because it is deadly competition. Something like the Olympics is also like a more peaceful way of competition, but it's also like, rawr, look at us being the most physically strong country. But singing, apart from those sick glee singing battles, when has singing ever been like dangerous or violent? I had tweeted, what if I got all my YouTube friends and put them into a house for a month and made it into a reality show? And then someone answered me, for the last time, we're not friends. He thinks I'm awesome. Now listen, I could really use your help. I know nothing about the Eurovision contest. I don't know how the rounds work. I don't know when someone wins or loses. I know absolutely nothing. And I could Google all of that, but what's the fun in that? I want to have that conversational stuff, you know? So I would love to hear in the comments some basic info, but also where are you from or who are you rooting for? Probably your own country, because I'm really interested in that conversation. So yeah, let me know. During April, I post every single day and I'm having a lot of fun, but I really hope you enjoyed this video as well, and I would love to see you next time.